The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning into Armed Radio. I am Shannon.
And I'm Mr. Bill.
And thank you guys for tuning into Talk Live Paranormal with us tonight.
We are broadcasting live out there from Armed Radio.
We've both been off. Bill's been on vacation, and I've been out of town, and we weren't live last Wednesday.
I'm still on vacation.
I don't want to hear it. 4 days wasn't long enough for me.
Oh, well, 2 weeks hasn't been long enough for me.
Well, it's hotter where you are. You can keep that.
Okay, fine. So, hey, we want to start this like we always do. First of all, if you're listening out there, we want to say thank you to every man and woman in uniform, whether you served or still serving and out there live listening to us. Thank you for everything you guys do every single day. You guys are the reasons we get to do a show like this that we want to do. We can't thank you enough. Please, just come home safe. And for those who have served and served your time, we want to stand up and salute you. Thank you very much for the service that you provided to this great country. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
So, Henry's listening.
Hi, Henry.
Henry, if you're listening, get him up, wake him up, move him around. It's summer. It's hot. Let's go.
I hope you guys enjoyed the episode with Ashley last Wednesday again.
We want to thank everybody who was who listened in last weekend. Yeah, like Shannon said, we were on we took a little bit of a vacation hiatus just to kind of drop back and punt and get ourselves re-geared up.
Now we're struggling. Or I'm struggling. You're still on vacation.
I'm struggling to realize, what am I doing here? I'm on vacation.
Right? So,
go ahead. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So tonight we're going to focus on Ghost Hunts USA, the company that Bill and I work for. What we're going to do is kind of go over the whole list of locations that Ghost Hunts USA does, and talk about some upcoming events that are coming up that we are interested in and that you guys will not want to miss if you get the opportunity.
So Ghost Hunts USA actually has a whole list of locations. If you want to jump out there and take a look at them, go to ghosthuntsusa.com. And the list of locations is on there, but I'm just gonna start reading off names of the list, and we're gonna come back to a few of them that I know that some of them Shannon and I have been to, some of them are new to us, and we're looking really forward to going to and doing. Hopefully, we just want to make sure everybody knows. Hey, check out the area where you're at. You never know where Ghost Hunts USA is gonna pop up, and if you have any ideas or any locations that you think Ghost Hunts USA would be great at, please go to the Ghost Hunts USA website, go to the comments and or the contact us below, and send us the location. Send us a location you think would be great for us to come into and do some of these events, because the only thing you're doing is open it up for all of us. So
they can actually email locations too to hello@ghosthuntsusa.com.
Yep. And they'll pick them up, and they'll go out and they'll look at them, and if it's something that looks like we could do, hey, you know what? We'll see you in the dark. That's all.
If you want us in a town near you,
let us know what you're thinking and how you think about it, and then we'll be there in the dark.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, well, I'm just going to start reading off some of the lists of these locations. The 76 House in New York, the new one that's coming up, the abandoned Lake Shawnee Amusement Park in West Virginia, Ashmore Estates in Illinois, the Andrew Jackson Hotel in New Orleans, the Balladary, I can't even say it, Balladary Inn in Gettysburg. That's a new one, I think, isn't it? Or have we done that one before?
I think it is a new one, because the one that we normally did was the Farnsville. Okay. I can't even say it. The Farnsville.
All right, and then underneath that one's the Beatty Mansion in Missouri, and that's in St. Joseph, Missouri. That is really awesome. We loved that one. The Bella Grove Plantation in Virginia. Bobby Mackey's in Kentucky, and that's kind of one of yours, isn't it, Shannon?
Oh yeah, I love Bobby Mackey's.
The Bracken Fern Manor in California. I would not want to know what's going on in California right now. One thing I do want to throw out a little note here. If you're looking at Ghost Hunts USA locations, and some of them are on the West Coast, you have booked these. You're worried about some of the fires going on, because if you pull up a fire map of the western half of the United States, there are forest fires and ground fires going everywhere. So I want to throw out another thank you, a big thank you, because it's close to my heart, to all those men and women fighting those fires out there. I want you guys to be as safe as possible. Please.
Definitely.
Careful. And if you look at some of the locations, I don't know how many of them are in danger out there. I don't even know exactly where some of these are at, but check it out beforehand and make sure that we're still going to have the events there, because all the fires that are going on right now are they've actually stopped us here. I'm in Oregon right now in the mountains, and it stopped us from doing some certain things because the smoke is so bad up here right now.
Yeah, I saw in your video.
That's nasty. So let's jump back into these. There's the Burlington County Prison in New Jersey, State Penitentiary in Pennsylvania, Edinburgh Manor here in Iowa. I guess back there in Iowa. I guess I'm not there right now. The Farrar School in Iowa, Glen Tavern Inn in California, Bloor Psychiatric Museum in Missouri. And if you like dolls and gory stuff that's there, you'll like that one.
I think that's the one that Beth and Ann just did not too long ago.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah,
it's we went when we were down there to do the Beatty Mansion, it's right there in the same town. We actually went over and bought tickets and walked through the building. It's a little freaky. The Hillview Manor in Pennsylvania, Kennedy Gold Mine in California, and from what I understand, that's a brand new one.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard of that one.
So, and I think this one may actually be on here twice. It is on here twice. The Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park in West Virginia. Lizzie Borden House in Massachusetts. The McIntyre Villa in Kansas. And that one's in Atchison, Kansas, right across the river from St. Joseph, Missouri. Beautiful old home. We've talked about that one on the show before.
Yeah.
One of our ones that we've done together, Missouri State Penitentiary down there in Missouri. That's Murdoch Whitney Mansion and Isaac Mansion in Massachusetts. Is that two different buildings?
I have no idea, because I didn't even know we did one in Massachusetts. So,
so hey, Mass, we're up, baby. Nopium. Oh, this is that other new one. Nopium, Sanitarium in Minnesota. That one, actually, I'm kind of looking forward to hoping we get that one, because that one is huge. The Old Hamilton County Jail in Florida. Ohio State Reformatory. That's your backyard. The Old Licton County Jail in Ohio.
Also my backyard.
Yeah, Old Montana State Prison in Montana. The Queen Mary in California. That is a haunted ship. If you really want to go out and play on the water, it's docked. It doesn't go anywhere, but it's actually a hotel right now, and it's awesomely haunted. Is that a term? Can we use that term? Awesomely haunted.
Awesomely haunted.
We're making
it a term.
Hey, there we go. The Sally House in Atchison, Kansas. Been there once. Had a few experiences there. We've talked about them here on the show. The Stanley Hotel in New York.
Stanley.
What? Shanley. Why do I keep calling it Stanley?
I don't know.
Because my mama told me I'm okay. Shanley Hotel in New York.
That's the one that Tyler owns now, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. How do you say this next one?
Sylvia's
Villa in New York. I gotta do it with the New York accent. That's what you gotta do. It's a Sylvia's Villa. Just come on down. We'll take care of you. Your luggage might get lost for a few hours, but hey, when it comes back, we try to fold the clothes the same way you had them in there. Let's see. West Virginia State Penitentiary in West Virginia. And the winery at Marjoram Manor in New York. Now, why can't I go hunt a winery? Why? Ghost hunting? kind of right up our
That's the
alley.
one that Tyler and them keep to themselves.
Oh, I see why now. This bottle looks like it's haunted. We need to open it and check.
Well, that happens at Bobby Mackey's too.
La, 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 la. So we were going to talk about a couple of these. I think we should just jump right into that abandoned Lake Shawnee amusement park.
Let's do it.
Okay, so if anybody doesn't know anything about the Lake Shawnee amusement park, it was the skeletal remains of a small Lake Shawnee amusement park created an eerie atmosphere, which is an appropriate given the park's history of violence. It was built on the... Wait, I got to do it in the voice.
It's better.
Built on the site of the Clay family massacre, which saw local Native Americans kidnap and kill members of a settling family. The amusement park was opened in 1926 to cater to the families of nearby coal workers. After the death of children on the playgrounds, the fun fair finally closed in 1966, leaving behind many of its rickety wood and steel rides. The rusting Ferris wheel and the children's swing stand like dead trees among the unkept wilderness wildlife. That doesn't make sense there, but I have an extra word in there. Grounds having changed hands over many years, but the land remains abandoned while the overgrown rides accumulate stories of haunting and vengeful ghosts. So, let's break this down a little bit. So they built a park on an Indian
burial grounds, of course.
The local Native Americans kidnapped and killed members of a settling family. A family massacre happened there. So we have a family massacre. I almost went the wrong way with that one. A family massacre. We have...
Well, how
Indian
big is the family? Because it says it's claimed to hold over 2,800 bodies.
But that's just it. The family, that mom and dad had a good time. But I mean, okay, so is it just one settling family, or were there a bunch of settlers there? I'm wondering that actually came out and were there and just got massacred by the Indians, or did they come back and massacre Indians there too? And that's where they were buried. Could have been that the family was settling on Indian burial ground, and that's where the Indians buried their dead. Because of course you don't want to bury live people. They
Why
buried
not?
their dead. Well, they stream. If the Indians had buried their dead there, and they came in and the settling families tried to settle on the lands, of course the Indians are going to massacre them. Don't disrespect the ground. And then to build a amusement park on top of this, and then hope to God nothing happens, and then two small children get killed, and they close it down. So they closed it down, what did I say, in 1966. So all this left, if you want to go on and look at some of these pictures, the pictures are amazing. The pictures show the old Ferris wheel all grown up and overgrown. There's a swing set there that if as long as it holds me, I might try to ride it. I don't know.
Ferris wheel looks pretty rough.
Pretty rough?
What is this? Are you brave enough to touch this car? Is there an old car out there?
What do you look? I don't know.
I don't know.
I can zoom in on this. Field. Oh, wait a minute. In this field, in 1783, two children of Mitchell Clay were killed by Shawnee Indians. Clay was the first white settler in Mercer County. Oh.
I was trying to read up on the massacre.
Find anything?
Yeah. It's talking about an episode, though, like some kind of episode. It says one of the better known and better documented episodes between the Indian and the white man occurred in August of 1783 at Clover Bottom, which is now Shawnee Lake, located between Princeton and Matoka. I'm guessing that.
Bless you.
in present Mercer County. This was the killing by a band of Shawnee Indians of Bartley and Tabitha Clay, children of Mitchell and Phoebe Belcher Clay, and the capture and ultimate execution of their son Ezekiel.
Wow.
As related by historian Reverend Shirley Donnelly in this article, The Massacre of the Clay Children, Beckley Post-Herald, September 5th, 1979, the incident unfolded as follows. I'm not going to read all of it, but...
No.
Because there's quite a bit. It says in the month of August, Mitchell Clay had harvested his crop of small grain, and wanting to get the benefit of the pasture for his cattle, he asked two of his sons, Bartley and Ezekiel, to build a fence around the stacks of grain. While Mitchell Clay was out hunting, the two sons were building fence pens around the grain stacks. The older daughter, with some of the younger girls, was down on the riverbank putting out... What year did I say this was?
1783?
1783, okay. While this was in progress, a marauding body of 11 Indians crept up to the edge of the field and shot young Bartley Clay dead. When the girls heard the shot that killed their brother, they lit out to the house for safety. Their path to the house was directly by where Bartley had fallen. An Indian attempted to scalp the youth and at the same time capture the older girl, Tabitha Clay. She was trying to defend the body of her brother. In the struggle, the girl reached for the knife which hung on the Indian's belt. Missing the knife, the Indian literally cut her to pieces before killing her. Ezekiel Clay, about 16, was captured by another Indian. It was about the time of the Indian attack, a man named Lincoln Blankenship called at the Clay cabin. When Miss Clay saw her daughter Tabitha in her death struggle, she begged Blankenship to go and shoot the savage and save her daughter's life. But Blankenship ran away from the scene and reported to settlers on New River that the Clay family had been murdered by the Indians. So, that's pretty brutal.
Well, I just found some more information. So it says 144 years later, an entrepreneur saw the opportunity in the land around Lake Shawnee. The population of West Virginia coal fields was booming, and this gentleman knew that the families living in the area needed some entertainment. He built a small and simple amusement park with circular swings, a water slide, a dance hall, a pool hall, and a pond with canoes. Between 1927, when the park opened, and 1966, when it finally closed, 6 people died at Lake Shawnee Amusement Park. It has been that reputation that caused the attraction to close, or simply the fact that less and less coal miners lived in the area in the second half of the 20th century. Whatever the reason, the park rides were never dismantled and sat abandoned for 20 years before the property was rediscovered. In the 1980s, this gentleman bought property and planned to do something. He discovered that the park had been built on top of ancient graves. So there's where I think a lot of our bodies come from. Ancient graves of Native Americans. Locals now believe that the burial ground may have cursed the land even before the Clay family arrived. Today, the park is a perfect place for experiencing spirits. So I'm thinking, this is actually a tough one. How do you do this without disrespecting the Native Americans that are buried there?
As far as what, in going and investigating?
Yeah. I'm thinking that one of the first things we should be doing there is going there and doing an offering.
Right.
On the ground, the tobacco offering, or any somewhat of an offering. Who don't we like that we can sacrifice?
Well, I have a long list.
So, but I'm thinking that's going to be an awesome. So, if you want to go to Lake Shawnee again, go to Ghost Hunts USA and check it out. Click on the click on it. It is an overnight, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a camping, as in like you can bring a tent and literally it's camp on the grounds.
Winnebago. Or camp on the grounds. It looks like upcoming event is in September. I'm trying to click on the dates here. So September 14th and 15th. That's actually coming up next. That's in 2 weeks. Isn't it? Are we in September?
No, so it's longer than... We're in August.
We're in August. So it's next month. Sorry, people.
It's only August 8th.
This
you
is
need
what
to come back from
vacation. So, go out there and check it out. And we'll,
tickets for that one are $179.
But do me a favor, if you're going to go there and you're going to check out the weather before you come. Dress appropriately.
Yeah, that is one thing that he's got on the website. To dress ready for rain and just in case.
Yes, please do. Please do. So,
but that place is what, like, I think it's like 80 acres.
Yeah, it's huge.
You couldn't even investigate all that in one night.
No, I don't think, and I don't even know how many people are actually allowing in on this one. It doesn't say. And I
think it's 80 acres altogether, like the property-wise, but I don't think the amusement park is that big.
No, the amusement park, from an overview looks really tiny. Looks like it wasn't, it wasn't built big. It was just something simple and built there. But the property around it, I have a feeling there'll be a lot of, that'd be stupid to say outdoor investigation because the whole thing is going to be outdoor. But
I know, and I hope it's not windy.
Having the ability to go to a couple areas and just get completely dark and turn off all the lights, what happens? I think that's going to be an awesome one. It'll be really cool.
I hope it's not windy, because then if you're using a voice recorder.
True, unless you can put a windsock on it, on your recorder, to stop the wind.
Not with the pieces of crap I use. I use this Sony one, and I'll tell you what, like, the more I use it, the more I hate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't even... I forgot where the model was on it. Used to have the model on it, but...
I just bought a new microphone coming in that I can hook up to it that's got its own mount and windsock on it. So...
Well, I have one, like an external mic that you can plug into, like, the camera and stuff that has, like, a little thing on it. But, like, this one it's the Sony... And the model is a ICD-B26. I have 2 of those, and then I have a -B25. And all 3 of them are terrible.
Well, they still work.
Well, yeah, they still work, but like when you go to play it back, it's got like, I don't know, it sounds like there's a lot of static in the background, even though we still picked up that EVP from the solitary at the reformatory, but there's still a lot of background noise that it's at every location I go to, so it's got to be the recorder.
Okay. So what's the next location we want to talk about? Upcoming.
Well, we have a couple on the same weekend in August 25th. Well, you know more about the McIntyre Villa because you've done that one.
McIntyre Villa is awesome.
That one is August 24th and August 25th.
You want to go see a beautiful old home. The owners have been renovating. And they brought it back to its old glory. They got rid of the old orange shag carpet that was throughout the building.
Oh my god, my daughter just... Sorry.
What?
My daughter just scared the shit out of me. I thought she was in bed. She just come creeping up down the hallway.
Dun, 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 dun.
I jumped. Thanks.
So yeah, the
teenager of mine.
The McIntyre Villa is an awesome one. It's dress appropriately because there's no air conditioning in the place. They have a few internal portable air conditioners they've set up, but if you go there, check out the basement really well, and check out the room at the top of the stairs. We have footage of the door. We were shutting that door as tight as we could possibly get it, and you could hear the door handle rattle, and it just opens up all by itself, which is completely awesome. And it did it all night long with us. And then some people got some really wild EVPs up there, so go check that one out.
Is that the one you did the video? The one I got to look at? Okay.
Yep. So, let's see what else we got on here.
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Which one's that one?
August 25th, West Virginia Penitentiary.
Yep.
That one's August 25th. And
hey, so I didn't ask you. Did you? I know you had another thing you did last weekend, but the weekend before, did you work?
No. The last time because we had a break last Wednesday, we weren't live, and the Wednesday before that, I had worked at the reformatory on the Friday before.
Okay.
That's when I got the EVP in solitary, and Pam's Scream that we played.
Pam, if you're listening, we still love you, but that was funny.
I titled it Pam's Moment. Yeah, you got West Virginia, which is, if you guys haven't been to West Virginia or even read up on West Virginia Penn, it's another huge place like Missouri State Penn. I always get stuck in the chapel for some reason.
Because you do the steps.
Well, that's at the reformatory. But I'm talking about West Virginia. They have a chapel in the middle of inside the wall, but it's still out in the yard, like where, the inmates would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the chapel's just sitting right there in the middle of the yard.
Go in there and pray.
No, periscopes. They like periscopes in the chapel there.
What do they?
But the hallways are like, I don't know, they're like 20 foot wide. They're like really wide hallways, and there's nothing in the hallways. It's just long, dark hallways to get. And then the cafeteria is huge. What's the other? The Sugar Shack. That's there too.
Did we talk about? So I'm trying to remember. We were last weekend. So we were actually live at the Farrar School. Last weekend. Kelly and I got to go do Friday night's event. I guess I did work the night before we went on vacation. The Farrar School was amazing. There were so many things that we got down there, and I actually used the blindfolds and went down into the boiler room and we had a bunch of people there. We had a great crew of people there that were there. It was a small group. It was awesome, and I took them down. Now, some people are thinking, I know if anybody's listening, thinking, okay, we're going to blindfold people in a dark room that you can't see. Well, here's the deal. When you blindfold someone, your eyes can actually adjust to any minor amount of light in anywhere, and you can start seeing things that happen. So by blindfolding people, you're taking one of their sensories away from them that can mess with you. And we were sitting there, and I had two ladies that had their backs to open rooms down in the boiler room. One that we heard noises coming all night long from. We couldn't even figure out what it was. And then, so they'd have their backs to them, and one of the ladies goes, she's sitting there, and she goes, she was one of the biggest skeptics. She came with a bunch of her friends, and she was sitting there, and she goes, yep, okay, somebody's touching me. And I go, there's nobody near you. She went, yeah, there is. It was right behind me. I said, take your mask off real quick and turn the light on. She took it off, and there was been no way anybody could have moved away from her that quick. And she looks around, she puts the mask back on, and she goes, okay, I'm back. And her voice completely changed. She said she felt a hand on her shoulder, like someone was just from behind, laid a hand on her shoulder to say hello, and it just kept it there. On her, and so I go, if you're there, can you whisper in her ear? And she all of a sudden took her mask off and came to the other side of the room and went, I'll stay over here so I can see. I go, what happened? She goes, yep, I heard a hi in my ear, and I'm done. I'm good now. I'm really good now. So,
have you ever tried that with the blindfold and then the phasma?
No, I haven't tried that yet.
You'd almost be taking away two of them, kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd probably freak somebody out. I kind of want to try it now.
Well, the blindfolds are cheap. I went to Walmart and paid like $2 a blindfold. Actually, I went on Amazon and bought 30 of them for $12. So, it makes you. I always make sure that there's people there that, let's say you have a group of 5 or 7 people in your group, or however many you have. I make sure that 1 or 2 of them are not blindfolded and they can actually see what's going on, so they can prove that we didn't do anything.
Right.
We're not going to sit there and try something. So, yeah, it was awesome.
We're too tired to do anything.
So once again, hey everybody, if you're just tuning in, this is Bill and Shannon on Talk Live Radio. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Talk Live Paranormal with Shannon and Bill. We are coming to you live from ARM Radio. I want to thank everybody for listening in out there. Please pass it on. Get some more people to come in here and listen to us. Send us comments. Send us feedback. They can send it to our Facebook, which is Talk Live Paranormal. And you can jump in there and send us any questions or comments you have or things you want us to discuss on the show here.
Yeah, Henry and the boys are usually pretty good about sending us a bunch of questions.
Yeah, but you know, we took a break from them, so we got a million questions and don't know how to get them to us just yet. So Henry, just send them in. Send any questions you have in. We'll talk about anything. Hopefully, it's paranormal stuff. So
if not, who cares?
So yeah, so let's jump back over here. Some more haunted locations. Let's see.
OSR is next Friday. The Ohio State Reformatory.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah, that's like my home away from home. It seems to be like the only location that I can work when I get to work is the Ohio State Reformatory, and I love it.
But they love you there.
There's that one guy in the chapel.
Hello, Shannon. Welcome back.
No, he's mean. He's always saying like "fuck off" or when I was like, "Oh, my
Shannon,
group's
you're mine. You're mine."
That's not even funny. Because I always go to that same spot. Only because I like walking up and down 6 flights of stairs. I like getting the exercise. But it's always the same voice. And when I tried to record with that recorder, I was just talking about that Sony recorder. I tried to record that Phasma session, and it didn't capture it.
Maybe I should send you one of my Zoom recorders to try next time.
I have a Zoom. My SD card was full, so I couldn't record. I could listen live, but
excuses. I'm hearing excuses.
Listen, it'll be ready next time. It's cleared. We're good. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, he's a jerk. He really is. Every time I ask a question, he's like, "Fuck off." And I'm like, "Oh, there's my buddy," and then I'll have everybody else ask questions and stuff. And then that last time we were there, I said, "Hey, we're getting ready to go downstairs. Is there anything you want to say to my group?" And then same male voice come through and said, "Death to you all." I'm like, "Okay,
lovely.
It's time to go." I'll be back with a different group.
Thanks for coming.
But yeah, I like the Reformatory. I don't always get the same stuff. I get the same male voice in the chapel area and the TB area. But he doesn't always say the same stuff, but you can tell it's the same guy.
That's wild.
Jerk.
That's wild.
But other than that one, I like Bobby Mackey's.
Bobby Mackey's is always a small group too, right?
Yeah, it's usually they try and keep it like 22 or less. That way because there's only 2 floors. You got the main floor and then you got the basement.
Okay.
And then the basement is where they have, what is it, the well? What do they call that? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the devil's something. I forgot what they call it. I forgot what Zach calls it on Ghost Adventurers. He says that Bobby Mackey's is demonic, and Beth and I and Ann have been there so many times. And
the gateway to hell.
Gateway to hell, yes, that's what he calls it. And the only thing, out of all the times I've been there, and I've been there quite a bit, I had a group of 4 in that room where the well is, and gave them a recorder, one of my better recorders back in the day. And they had asked a couple questions, and they got an EVP telling them to go to hell. That's like the best EVP. Yeah, that's the best EVP I've gotten from there. Other than that, it's the periscopes do well on both floors. The Phasma box is always good there. Other people have caught EVPs, but
Bobby Mackey's is reported to be one of the most haunted locations in America. Don't let the music lull you into a false sense of security. When the lights go out, venture downstairs, you will soon understand that this location has a dark, sinister past. Many paranormal teams and television programs have investigated its honky-tonk and few have left without the firm belief that the basement holds the gateway to hell. The harrowing history alludes to the bloody incense soiling the earth, creating an unholy president, an unholy presence that lurks in shadows. The evidence captured, the paranormal occurrences witnessed, and the experience of investigations tell the story of the twisted and dark past. A staircase near the well. Wait, what? A staircase near the well of the old slaughterhouse has the stairs that lead to nowhere by investigators and phenomena. Footsteps are often heard by those who dare to venture in the basement.
There are stairs that go to nowhere. It used to go up into an office room, some type of a, and those stairs were used like back in the mob days. Like you can still see bullet holes down in the basement.
So this is what I'm going to tell you. We're going to go upstairs to the office and just have a word. And then I'm going to knock you the hell down the hole.
And the room that has the well in it has like this like pink flower something wallpaper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the well that's the stairway gateway to hell. It's the pink wallpaper.
Yeah, they said that like children, like children used to play down there, and that's like it was in that area.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Huh. That's freaky.
Yeah, Bobby Mackey's has a weird history, but it's still a fun place. There's just not like, I mean, you can investigate the whole place in a couple hours. Most of the people that do come, like, they're usually, I think we're there till 3 a.m., I think.
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4. They're usually gone by like 2 or 3, unless they're getting activity. Which, I mean, there's been a few that have stayed till 4 o'clock in the morning, and we've had past guests come back that have been there before with us, too.
That's kind of like the Missouri State Pen. It seems like we'll just be getting ready to go, and things are going great, and everything, and all of a sudden they're like, you look down and it's almost 4 o'clock, and they're ready. You got to close. Stop! No, this is really getting good. Can you extend this out for another 3 hours? Please.
Yeah, and I mean, there are some nights where it's like, you don't want to go to bed. Like when we do Randolph County Asylum. You know, Beth and I are so tired, and we're like, we're going to go to sleep, but we're getting so much activity on the Phasma or Shadow Play, or the crawlers are out creeping and everything else.
That was like the Beatty Mansion when we went down there and did that. And if you ever get a chance to do that with anybody, Beatty Mansion's in St. Joseph, Missouri. There's such a history behind that building and the family that lived there. And the first time we did it, and we talked about this on the show before, that when we did the candle, we had the candles lit, and we were trying to get some activity. And I don't know if you've ever tried candles, Shannon.
I haven't.
It works. If you put people around a table and put a candle in front of each one of them, we use the little tea light candles.
Okay.
We'll light those candles, and if there's no air moving in the room, all of a sudden you'll be talking, and are you here to see somebody? Do you have a message, or do you want someone to go in this room? And one of those candles, it'll flicker, and then the flame will just lean right towards the person, and you'll see people look down and go, I don't think so. I'm not going in there by myself. Say, well, it's calling you. Well, then we're all going. Let's go. So
well, that's when you're like, well, you were willing to come sit at the table and and try and get some answers, and then when they finally give you an answer, I have a lot of people that do that. Like, what? You're going to put me somewhere by myself? Like, they're all cool and skeptic when they first walk in, but then as soon as you tell them, oh, I'm going to put you over here by yourself, no, I'm not going there by myself.
Can I take somebody with me? No.
I get that too. I'll be like, fine, you can take your friend.
Have you done the Lizzie Borden house?
No, and when Beth and Ann did it, that was the first time they'd been there, I believe.
We've had a lot of people asking about Lizzie Borden house. I don't know that much about Lizzie Borden house. I know the story behind Lizzie Borden, but I just don't know, what's there. So the Lizzie Borden is probably, it's like any other location. It's either going to be active or it's not. And that's the hardest part sometimes.
Kind of any location, though.
Yeah. So now there's a new one on here. And I'm going to say it wrong. I know I am. And there's events coming up in September and November for this one. Excuse me. Oh, the one in September sold out. In Duluth, Minnesota, it's the Nopian Sanitarium, or Sanatorium, depending on how you say it. Now, I'm just going to read what it says on here because it's the first time I've ever seen this. It's the horrifying reality of government-run sanitariums in a dark place in our human history. It's intriguing and terrifying to learn that the stories of those who suffered and died of this terrifying disease. What terrifying? Oh, wow, the terrifying diseases of pulmonary tuberculosis. The Nopium Sanatorium in Duluth, Minnesota, and I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, is a beautiful architectural reminder of the periods past. As featured on the Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures, paranormal investigators and enthusiasts from all over the world have wanted to have a peek inside. Now, that's all the information they give us on this one. So I am really intrigued on this one because for some reason, is it bad that I feel comfortable in abandoned sanatoriums and nut houses and penitentiaries? I feel like I'm home. So this one is really, I didn't know it was a tuberculosis sanatorium.
Well, I mean, a lot of like old asylums had tuberculosis areas. I mean, you got the reformatory. They had, I think, over 200 something deaths at Randolph County Asylum of tuberculosis too.
Wow. I get, when you think about it, tuberculosis was one of the biggest. It was kind of like our Black Death plague for a while.
Pretty much.
Until they figured out how to hopefully take care of it. I know my dad suffered from tuberculosis when he was younger. And he's always had trouble ever since because his lungs are pretty scarred up from it. But that's wild, amazing. I'm so glad we got that one. Really, I see. I look and I go. When I was in high school when I was in school, I didn't like history. I hated it, and now I can't. Okay, let's find out about this one. Let's find out about this one. Find out about this one.
When Beth and I first started investigating together, we used to do a lot of research on the locations, and now we just kind of go off of the little bit that's said about it before we go in and work.
I find out that when we decide, with our paranormal group that we have, our private one, and I'm going to plug them real quick, which is Riverside, Iowa Paranormal, we go out and we'll go, hey, we got permission to do this old building. It's nothing for Ghost Hunts USA. It's just something that we want to do on our own. We don't want to know any of the history until after we're done. We want to see what we get and if anything can come up about it. So if we start getting names, we start getting people talking to us or, things crashing around us, or like in the Sally house, someone throws a brick at my head. We really want to, afterwards we'll start, okay, what happened in that area? What happened here? And we find out later, and then it all ties together, and it seems to be one of the most amazing feelings when you go, there's somebody named George that we keep getting the name George, and he was here, and he told us we're all in trouble and we're gonna die, and then we go back and find out that some guy named George, terrorized the area and slaughtered people in the area. And we don't, like I said, I found it better not to find out, when we're doing the big hunts like Missouri State Pen or, for our school or stuff, we try to find out a little bit because we want to be able to give a little bit of to the people coming in.
Well, yeah, because a lot of them hit you with questions too.
Yeah, and when we were for our school, the gentleman, the couple that own it, that live in it, which is kind of throws me off just a little bit. They have an apartment they build in the place, but they also have a groundskeeper that was there. What's that?
And there's a coffin in there.
No.
Is that the villa?
That's Edinburgh.
Oh, Edinburgh.
Well, there's one in Edinburgh Manor, and then there's one in the McIntyre Villa that is... The one in Edinburgh is an actual up-8 aluminum coffin. The one
But
in the
the one at the
Macateer
villa, though, is that where those people are actually trying to move in to be able to live there?
They thought about it, but they're having a little bit of issue on whether or not they actually want to move in there. They're thinking, no, we don't know if we want to stay in there, or we want to just keep renting this thing out, because every time they go in there, we have a hilarious picture of the owner, and I love them guys dearly. They actually came up to Edinburgh on the last one. They drove up to be with us, which was awesome. But when we were down there, they took a picture of the lady who owns it, the man and woman own it, and she's sleeping with headphones on, and it looks like they're tied to her head so she doesn't hear anything all night long, noise-canceling headphones.
Oh my gosh.
He took a picture of her. They said they stayed there, woke up the next morning, went, we're leaving, let's get out of here. I don't feel right. Let's go.
Now, see, I've slept with, earplugs at RCI, but that's only because the people that were in the same room with me in the staff room snore so loud. And I mean, I could still hear them faintly, so it didn't actually plug my hearing completely. But
I've actually gotten to the point now where I know we can go crash out for a little while, as long as we usually try to have one or two people that stay awake off and on, so somebody's awake with the people all night long.
Yeah.
But I've actually gotten to the point now where I don't want to sleep, because it seems like you'll be sitting there and it's kind of quiet and people are sleeping, and I'll just turn an EVP recorder on and just let it play and not say a word, and just sit in a room or in the main area where people know they can come back if there's an issue, and just record, and then go back and listen to that, and you hear so much activity that it's amazing.
Have you checked into that camera anymore?
Camera.
Well, it's not a camera. It's a recorder. The one that we were talking about. It kind of looks like an action camera.
I haven't checked into a lot of equipment, only because my normal job has got me so dang busy. It's not even funny. I know which one you're talking about.
I took a screenshot of it. When we were talking about Henry and them having cameras, when Henry told us what kind of cameras they have.
The body cam?
Yeah, but it wasn't the body cam though. It kind of looks like a GoPro, but it's a recorder, not a camera. I'm probably not gonna.
Why don't I remember this?
Don't remember. Remember we were talking about the ports, how it had auxiliary ports or audio ports in it and everything. Why
I vaguely remember this now, but I think I somewhat do remember it.
I'm gonna try and find it. I'm digging for it, but might take me a minute. I'm looking through my phone. But
yeah, I love sitting there in the dark and just listening and just trying to pick up on things. A lot of times we're picking up the people that are there doing the investigations that are walking around. A lot of times we're picking up stuff that where they're trying to do EVP recordings and just listen in, and you hear that. But sometimes I'll be sitting there EV recording, and you'll hear somebody in 2 rooms down ask a question, and I can hear them ask the question, and then they come back and go, we didn't get anything. We listen to mine, and I have the answer to their question on mine, or I have something that came across on mine. So it's actually gotten to the point where, okay, if you guys are going to do an EVP session, I'm going to sit out in the hallway away from you and just record. And then we'll play them back together and see what we got.
Well, that's my voice recorder, the Sony, didn't record some of what the Pandora did at the reformatory when Pam and I were doing a session at the same time, which was weird. Because the Pandora usually picks up on everything. Speaking of the Pandora, I found the picture of the voice recorder, but the model of it is a DR60.
A voice recorder? Oh, okay, I'm going on Google.
That Tascam. TAS.
Oh, yeah. So, I have one of those. And
yeah, you said you had one, and I looked it up because I was like, ooh, I want one of those too.
And we've actually tried it, and I just at the Macateer Villa, we did a session. I had it recording, and the weird part is about an hour and a half to 2 hours into it recording, because I just left it alone and left the mic hanging there and recording. Somebody was in the other room, and they asked, what they say, do you want us here? And it got quiet. And, they asked, we're not going to go, should we go? And when I replayed it back, they said, do you want us here? No, leave us alone. And you could hear it specifically, and we're not going to leave. Yes, you are. Turn it off. And then it went dead. The batteries are fully charged. It just
on
shut
your
off.
task cam?
Yeah, it just shut off. Which was wild.
Have you tried using it with a camera yet? Because this is where we were talking about how it has the camera in, camera out ports.
No, I haven't done that. I just got the mount for it to be able to. I have a portable mount now, a handheld where I can put a microphone on it and mount it, and then also mount the camera to it at the same time. I haven't tried any of that yet. I'm hoping. Of course, I'm on vacation and I just got that stuff, but we're hoping to try it on our next hunt. Or our next investigation. Again, I'm not a Wascoey Wabbit hunting babbits. So we're going to try that once we have that, and I know we keep talking about having all these EVPs, but I have to, people have to understand that once you do a lot of these recordings, to go back and listen to them, I have hundreds of hours of stuff to listen to, and you can't listen to them and, fast forward and listen. You got to listen moment to moment. Or like watching video where you kind of sit there and stare at a screen forever, and nothing may happen or something may happen, and then you got to go back and watch it again just to make sure your eyes are not playing tricks on your own mind. So
sometimes you can jump forward with the audio, like you can see on the screen if it's got the audio bar. You can kind of tell where there's something at.
True, but I don't a lot of times put it on the audio, put it there. I try to listen to it first. And so I'll listen to it raw without being on the computer to look at the screen, which I just got a new screen, which should really help me understand. We'll see more. Little hint to everybody that's out there. I know we're running out of time, but if you have to buy a new monitor, Shannon, I messed up. Don't go buy. I have my computer monitor for the 26-inch or 28-inch computer monitor, and we ended up using it somewhere else. And I realized when I got home, I don't have a monitor for my big computer anymore. I went and bought a TV monitor for my computer, and I bought a 55-inch 4K. It's huge. It can hurt your eyes if you're sitting like 24 inches from it trying to watch things.
Or if you're trying to play Call of Duty.
Well, that too. So, let's see what else we got out here that we want to do. We're running out of time. This hour has gone quick.
I know.
Holy shnikes. Let's talk about Queen Mary's Sally House, Stanley. What else is coming up here?
Lake Shawnee is the biggest one right now. They're promoting big time right now.
Yeah. Yep. What's on the main page? Locations. Oh, we are for that one. Well, the four big ones that are on here on the front page are the Ohio State Reformatory, West Virginia Penitentiary, McIntyre Villa, and Missouri State Penitentiary. So, what else we got down here? We got some stuff for the Sally House.
That's on the bucket list.
Sally House?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might turn saying that, but
we don't know if we want to go back, but I want to go back.
Oh, you're going back, because you got to go with us.
Dang, I got caught again. Sally House is awesome. It's a small house. It's probably no more than, 900 to 1,000 square feet, if that. But just
corn.
After you get, the kids outside, that freaked me out. And then the little blonde girls that show up at the front door. Can we come in and play? No, I'm going to leave now. Thanks. I was having. It didn't seem like I was doing a whole lot, and we got a bunch of great EVP, and we got a lot of hits on the EMF detectors, especially upstairs. But to hear somebody say, "Put Bill in the hole in the basement," and going, what? Why are we putting Bill in the hole in the basement? So Bill went in the hole in the basement, and then to get hit upside the head with something flying across the room, it kind of woke me up a little bit to going, okay, maybe I don't want to come back here. But I want to go back. You got to face your, I guess is a bad word for it, you got to face your demons, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's what we face every time we go into these places. But it was Sally House was it was a weird feeling, an amazing feeling all at the same time, but also when you cross the river over into Atchison, Kansas, I don't think it's just the house. It seems like it's the whole town. Something with that whole town there.
It's like some Children of the Corn shit.
Well, but it's just you get this feeling in the town that you're being watched by the people that are alive and have eyes and can see, but you're being watched by much more. There was with the railroad went through there, I found out later that the St. Joseph, Missouri and Atchison, Kansas are directly across from each other. The only thing separating them is the Missouri River. So if you start watching this stuff, you start the feeling back when people were going west to back in the 1800s or even the 1600s to try to go across the United States. That's where they stopped. That Atchison, Kansas, and St. Joseph, Missouri was two of the areas that they came up the river on. They stopped and they spent the entire winter there, waiting for things to get better out west so they could keep going. They had to wait there until they knew that the grasses in the plains were built up enough so their animals would have stuff to eat.
Right.
But in the town, there's so many old buildings and so much history about people that came through there, and the number of brothels that were there. I mean, there was whorehouses all over the place in both the towns, and people were being killed and robbed and their stuff taken and everything. Is just the history of that area. There's more pieces there. So there's one restaurant that we always go to eat when we're down there. And we found out that this restaurant is the second most haunted restaurant that was featured on the Food Network.
I think you said that before, yeah.
Yeah, we just went there because we thought, hey, this looks like a cool place to eat, but it was almost like you were drawn to it. So next time we go there, we're going to lay a recorder down while we eat and see if we get some stuff. Try the veal; it's good. Check out the pie; it's awesome, and it is. So it's delicious.
Oh, and when you say pie, all I can think about is Dean from Supernatural. All he ever wants is pie.
He's some pie.
But
it looks like we're running out of time.
Oh no, that's gonna sound dirty, but I haven't got poked yet.
So again, I'm gonna do it real quick. Again, this is Bill and Shannon.
All right, folks, you got more productive. You got about 30 seconds.
Right,
awesome. This is Bill and Shannon from Talk Live Paranormal. We want to thank you guys very much. You've been listening to us on Armed Radio. Come back and see us again. Come back and talk with us. You can go to our Facebook site, which is Talk Live Paranormal, which is Shannon and Bill, and ask us some questions. Stuff out there to us.
Who cares how crazy the questions are? Send us some questions.
Shannon, it was awesome as always. Thank you. Welcome
awesome
back.
With you too, Bill, as always.
So we will be back next week. Try to have a guest. I think I have a guest in mind, and we'll see if we can get her to come on here.